Emperor Diocletian built his retirement palace here for a reason. Millions visit for the limestone streets, but some retire here. I'm Penelope with StockFocus.com, and today we're in Split, Croatia. Before you decide if the Mediterranean as it once was is your future, here's the truth. Split is not as cheap as it was 5 years ago, but it remains one of the most strategically priced coastal retirements in Europe. Because Split is not a museum. It is a living city with a functioning hospital system, ferry links to the islands, and a safety profile that surpasses most American metropolitan areas. Today, we break down the real numbers for 2026, not the fantasy, the math. Living in Split year-round requires understanding one reality: you are paying for coastline. Split is more expensive than inland Croatia, but it remains significantly less costly than Nice, Venice, or most of coastal Italy. Housing is your primary variable, and the rental market is tight. A modern one-bedroom apartment in desirable central neighborhoods, Veli, Varos, Gripe, typically ranges from 900 to 1,200 euros per month, though demand can push prices higher in peak season. Premium areas like Mehi or Bakvis may reach 1,400 to 1,600 euros. Move slightly outward, Poljud, Zenjan residential zones beyond the old core, and rents range from 600 to 850 euros, though availability in this range is limited. Long-term rental inventory in Split is competitive, especially during tourist season. Groceries are high quality, but seasonal pricing exists during peak tourism months. Expect 350 to 450 euros per month for a single person focused on fresh produce, seafood, olive oil, and staples from the Pazar market. Utilities, electricity, water, and winter heating average 160 to 265 euros depending on season and building insulation. Fiber internet and mobile plans are affordable, typically 35 to 55 euros combined. Split is highly walkable. A monthly bus pass is around 30 euros, and discounted senior passes may reduce that further. Dining is cultural, not occasional. A meal at a local Kanoba typically costs 15 to 25 euros. Regular social dining may total 250 to 450 euros per month. Healthcare requires planning and structure. Private insurance for residency purposes typically ranges from 100 to 300 euros per month, depending on age and coverage. For a single retiree, a comfortable lifestyle in Split typically ranges from 1,825 to 3,150 euros per month, though housing costs can push this higher in central locations. For a couple, expect 2,800 to 3,800 euros depending on housing choices and dining habits. Healthcare, how it actually works. Split's primary hospital is KBC Split, a major regional facility serving much of Dalmatia. It is modern and capable, though highly specialized procedures may require transfer to Zagreb. Residents must register with a family doctor under Croatia's mandatory public insurance system. Most retirees carry 3 layers. Mandatory public insurance, obavezno. Supplementary insurance, Dopunsko, typically around 10 euros per month, which removes most co-payments. Optional private insurance will range from 100 to 300 euros depending on age and condition for faster access or private rooms. Public care is subsidized heavily. Without supplementary insurance, small co-payments may apply for hospital stays and procedures. With Dopunsko coverage, most of those co-pays disappear. Pharmacies are widely available and English is commonly spoken in medical settings in Split. The system functions, but it is not concierge medicine. It is structured public health care with optional private overlay. Most cities are built near history. Split was built inside it. It began in 293 AD when the Roman Emperor Diocletian, a local soldier who rose to absolute power, chose this quiet bay for his retirement. He spent 10 years constructing a fortified citadel so massive it covered nearly 10 acres, importing marble from Greece and sphinxes from Egypt to line his grand reception halls. But the real transformation happened in the 7th century. When the nearby Roman capital of Salona was destroyed by invaders, thousands of refugees fled to the safety of these high palace walls. They didn't just hide here, they stayed. They turned the emperor's hallways into streets and his mausoleum into the Cathedral of St. Domnius, one of the oldest cathedrals in the world still in use. Through the centuries, this palace absorbed every empire that passed through. Byzantines, Croatian kings, and Venetians, who left their mark on the elegant squares just outside the walls. But history isn't always ancient. To understand the Split of today, you have to look at the early 1990s. In 1991, as Croatia declared independence, the city found itself on the front lines of the Homeland War. That May, the citizens of Split surrounded the Yugoslav Navy command in a massive protest, a turning point that signaled the beginning of the end of the old regime. By November, the city was under naval blockade. On the morning of November 15, 1991, the Yugoslav Navy frigate, ironically named Split, opened fire on the city itself. The damage was psychological as much as physical. The city was defending its right to exist. Since the war ended in 1995, Split's recovery has been nothing short of remarkable. It transitioned from a strategic military port into one of the most vibrant modern cities in the Mediterranean. The Roman cellars that once stored Diocletian's wine now host artisanal markets. The same ancient walls that protected refugees in the 7th century and withstood shells in the 1990s now offer a foundation of safety for the modern retiree. In 2026, the 1,700-year-old pulse of this city provides a rare stability, a life built on a foundation that has quite literally survived everything. The portfolio math? Now let's apply the StockFocus framework. To fund a €3,000 per month lifestyle entirely from investments using the 4% rule, you would need approximately €900,000 invested. But most retirees do not rely solely on portfolio withdrawals. If Social Security provides €1,800 per month, your funding gap becomes €1,200. To cover that gap, you would need approximately €360,000 in invested assets. That is the strategic appeal of Split. It offers a coastal Mediterranean lifestyle at an entry threshold far below the French or Italian Riviera. Visas and residency. Most Americans use either a temporary residence permit based on passive income or the digital Nomad visa. The digital Nomad visa requires proof of monthly income of at least €3,295 per month as of 2025, or savings of approximately €39,540 for a 12-month stay. This visa is valid for up to 18 months and is designed for remote workers, not traditional retirees. The passive income residence permit is more suitable for retirees and is renewed annually. Applicants must provide a clean criminal background check, proof of comprehensive health insurance coverage, a registered rental contract, proof of financial self-sufficiency. Temporary residence is granted for 1 year and must be renewed. After 5 years of continuous residence, permanent residency may become available. Long absences from Croatia can jeopardize renewal eligibility. This is not a casual visa. It is for residents. The tax structure. Croatia and the United States signed a comprehensive income tax treaty in December 2022. However, as of early 2026, the treaty has not yet entered into force because it requires ratification by the U.S. Senate, which has not yet occurred. Until the treaty enters force, Americans cannot claim its benefits. If you reside in Croatia more than 183 days per year, you become a Croatian tax resident. Croatia taxes worldwide income at progressive rates, generally starting around 20% for pension income, though certain local reliefs may apply. Once the treaty enters force, it is expected to provide relief from double taxation, similar to other U.S. tax treaties. But for now, cross-border tax planning remains complex and uncertain. Croatia does not impose a wealth tax. A modest annual property tax was introduced in 2025. Professional cross-border tax advice is essential before committing to Croatian residency, particularly given the uncertain treaty timeline. Final perspective. Split is not the cheapest city in the Balkans. It does not compete with inland villages, but it does offer Roman history you can live inside, a functioning healthcare safety net, Adriatic beauty, and an entry cost dramatically lower than Western Mediterranean capitals. If you can navigate the uncertainty of an unratified tax treaty, and if you want a coastal retirement that remains financially strategic, then Split is not just a destination. It is a decision. I'm Penelope from StockFocus.com. We'll continue comparing Adriatic cities in upcoming episodes. If you want to see which cities you can afford to retire to, please use our free retirement calculator at StockFocus.com. Thank you for watching.